a glorious day to rejoice. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Mondale. Also with us today is the Citizen Stamp Advisory Committee member Donna DeVarona and her husband John Pinto. Donna is an Olympic gold medal swimming champion and the first female network TV sportscaster in history. Donna, do you have a few words you would like to share with us this morning?
Thank you. It was unexpected. I grew up in Lafayette, California, and in San Francisco, and found my career here in sports. And I joined the Stamp Advisory Committee with Joan a little while ago, and was delighted, I could say that, when the Seabiscuit stamp was issued. I was interviewed today about why I came out here and why I felt connected to Seabiscuit. And I think we all have stories, but when I was at UCLA, I used to sit with a bunch of athletes, and there was a young man that used to sit at the table with us. He loved track and field. I lost him, and then many years later, in 1992, when I was working on restructuring the Olympic Committee, I found this gentleman again. And he told me this story about how he met this young lady, and she said I babysat for her. Well, years ago, I'd taken a bus all the way up to Reading to compete in a competition, and during that time, between events, I babysat for this woman. Well, that young woman was Kathleen Kennedy, and the young man was Frank Marshall, who produced Seabiscuit. The life does come full circle. Seabiscuit loved to win, and as Americans, we love the underdog, and we love those that win. They win for us. They give us hope. And it's just such an honor to be back home today, to celebrate this wonderful moment, and to be proud of an America that treasures those that give back to us and inspire us. So thank you for letting me make these comments, and congratulations to you all, and to this wonderful ranch that does so much to inspire young people of special needs, that reaches out in that spirit to help those that want to help themselves but extends the helping hand. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. And now could Mr. and Mrs. Mondale join me and Tracy, Winnie, and Willits Postmaster Dale Briggs, as well as Donna DeVarona, in the unveiling of the Seabiscuit stamped envelope, please. What a momentous occasion. Now, Dale, If you would please begin with the imprinting. Thank you. As Dale is affixing the imprints on the envelopes, I'd like to recognize two very special people in the audience. Actually, one was not able to join us today due to illness. However, I would still like to make mention of that person. Maggie Van Onstrand of Pine Mountain is here with us today, and Chuck Lustig of Sacramento was unable to attend. Both led a nationwide grassroots effort and gathered thousands of signatures to get a Seabiscuit stamp issued. As an Arkansas soybean farmer, a Louisiana pharmacist, a California jockey masseuse, a Kentucky woman who cans hams for Hormel, a Massachusetts landscape designer, and a quilting club were among the many that they enlisted for the effort. Maggie, thank you. Please stand, Maggie. Must have the glasses. Dale is affixing an official first day of sale pictorial postmark created specially for this occasion today. Bravo. With us today are artists Stan Watts and Kim Corpany, which produced the life-size bronze sculpture of Seabiscuit, of Seabiscuit here on the lawn, as well as the miniature bronze sculpture titled Final Victory. The sculpture depicts Seabiscuit and Red Pollard crossing the finish line for their win of the 1940 Santa Anita Handicap. The sculpture was specially commissioned by Charles Howard's great-grandson and Seabiscuit Heritage Foundation board member, Colonel Michael Howard. Stan and Kim, could you please stand and be recognized? Ananda, I will ask you to bring the garland for us at this time. Oh. During Preakness Week, each year at this time, the Postal Service operates a substation at Pimlico where the great match race depicted in the stamp was held. We've made arrangements to have a stamped envelope sent to the substation manager, Melody Davis Fanazzo, so that during this Preakness Week, we can recognize Pimlico's pivotal role in the great match race and the thousands of fans who witnessed it. Mr. and Mrs. Mondale have written a note to Melody, which they are now inserting, or will be inserting, in the envelope. Thank you, Dale. To conclude today's ceremony, we have asked Margie Handley of the Howard Hospital Foundation and Connie Wiley to place a garland over the statue of Seabiscuit. Margie is the president and chairman of the board of the Howard Foundation. The Howard Hospital was established by Seabiscuit's owner Charles Howard in memory of his younger son Frankie after he was tragically killed in an auto accident on the ranch. Howard Foundation is now raising funds for a new state-of-the-art teaching hospital in Willits. Connie is the former mayor of Belvedere, California, just north of San Francisco. When Connie was 10, a friend of the family's, Charles Howard, invited a horse-crazed little girl to the winner's circle after a Seabiscuit victory at Bay Meadows in San Mateo. Not only did Connie meet Seabiscuit, she also got to pet him. It looks lovely. Tracy will be making a very special presentation for Mrs. Mondale this time. Mrs. Mondale. Thank you, Kim and Stan, for bringing along this beautiful statue today. Thank you all so very much for coming, many of you from great distances. A special thank you also to all who made this day possible. Christ Church of the Golden Rule, our board of directors, our contributors, and event sponsors. Thank you. And we end as we began with Pete Estabrook, who for the past 23 years has been the racetrack bugler on the Northern California Fair Circuit. Pete, please, the final call to post.
Well, I was charmed by the come-from-behind part of this horse's life. It wasn't a beautiful animal when it was young, and it was small, and it was its legs didn't look right when they ran, and racehorses are supposed to be large and beautiful, and this one wasn't. But somehow he was able to continue. I mean, at one period he ran in 26 races and won one race, but he didn't give up. And I think that idea of keeping going, perseverance, is important for all of us to learn about in life. It's a lesson everybody can learn. And so I was charmed by the story. Laura Hillenbrand is a brilliant writer, and I enjoyed reading it. And I'm very happy to be here that it has a life beyond just a book. We have a lot of men and women on stamps, and that's wonderful. But what about an American legend? What about a horse that embodies perseverance and don't give up in our national life? Well, there are all kinds of projects and ideas in the works for the Heritage Foundation. And I think everybody's been looking forward to this day and this unveiling of this beautiful prize. So there will be more activities later on.
Well, I think we might comment just a moment about what Joan was talking about. There's a foundation, Seabiscuit Foundation here, that's trying to preserve the ranch, Seabiscuit, where all the Seabiscuit training and where Seabiscuit remains, to preserve this bit of American history. The National Trust for Historic Preservation has designated this area as an important area to be preserved. There's the story of Seabiscuit, there's the story of what it stands for in America, and it is expensive. These old buildings, many are classic buildings, used to be all over the place, but these are some of the last buildings of their kind in all of California. To try to preserve this, protect it, and keep the history and what it teaches all of us alive is taking place here on this Ridgewood Ranch, and we need to help that.